Straight to the Kenya Meteorological Department, where Environment CS Keriako Tobiko, together with his devolution counterpart and health counterpart Cecily Kariuki, are currently addressing the media concerning the status of the country owing to the heavy rains that pounded the nation.
Been working with our KMD team. They have integrated weather forecasting in their prime time news. And I would appeal to the other media houses to do likewise. KMD has a facility here. They have a studio to train broadcasters, to train journalists. And I would appeal that we work together in helping our people understand the situation, not just now, because of the importance of weather, have a long-standing, sustainable relationship. In the previous briefings, I have emphasized the importance of environment, the correlation between environment, nature, and biodiversity on what we are experiencing today, whether you're talking about COVID-19 or the current floods and mudslides. And we are exceptionally grateful to His Excellency the President that last week, when he announced that 8-point stimulus package, environment has been given the necessary location and recognition. The President has announced that the sector, broadly, in appreciating the importance of environment and nature, will get about 3 billion Kenya shilling out of the stimulus package. That should be one to mitigate on the impact of deforestation, climate change, and provision of water to the ASAL areas, flood controls, and my colleague here will be speaking a lot about flood controls, and also Greening Kenya initiative, the massive tree planting activity. Really thank the President for underscoring the importance of environment. I mention again and I repeat, we have, as a people, have to take our own responsibility. We have extended our settlements and buildings into riparian reserves. We have a situation where we have built houses on rivers. We have a situation now in one of the rivers in places in Nairobi River, where a person actually claims not just the land, the riparian reserve, but also the river itself. It's a strange phenomenon. So we have a responsibility as a people also to respect the laws regarding riparian reserve, whether lakes, rivers, and so on and so forth. Let me now invite my colleague, whose docket largely covers the flood controls and the emergency relief activities, to brief the country. My colleague.
Thank you very much, my colleague CS Tobiko, our PSS, and our meteorological team. May I start, first of all, just by confirming that last time when we were here, the figures we had given in terms of the impact of the floods, the ongoing heavy rains, the landslides, the mudslides across the country, as per the last briefing, we had lost 256 lives. We had also had 808,000 Kenyans affected by the ongoing heavy rains, the floods, the landslides, and the mudslides. As of midnight last night, the total number of lives lost have risen from 256 to 285. And also the number of people affected has risen to 810,655. This is just a part of the effects of these heavy rains that have been ongoing, but we also have acreage in terms of crop loss in many parts of the country that our colleagues in agriculture will be confirming by next week. As the rains subside, we will be able to establish the exact acreage in terms of crop loss that we have suffered, in terms of the irrigation land and infrastructure that has been affected, and we will be able to give you a more comprehensive report next week. But also, we take this opportunity to thank our experts. The Meteorological Department has been of great help in terms of giving us very accurate information and very, very reliable data. And we must thank them for this very, very important part they have played. And the accuracy actually tells us that going forward into the future, when we get alerts, when we are warned by experts that it is going to rain or that we are likely to have landslides, please do not take these alerts lightly. Because we have seen, even in areas where we were affected in terms of landslides in West Pokot, in Elgeyo Marakwet, both last year and this year, the experts warned us just weeks to such tragedies. So what we need to improve on going forward is our response and how we utilize information given to us. We also want to thank the Meteorological Department for devolving their services. As we speak, in terms of services being rendered in all our counties, we have experts now that are part of our county leadership, and we want to urge all our county governments to work very closely with the Meteorological Department through their representatives. These services are now devolved. I think if we're able to do that, we will be able to plan better, to utilize the information given better, and to save more lives in terms of improving our response when these tragedies come. We also want to assure all families affected, and we're talking of over 810,000 Kenyans who have been affected across 33 counties, that the national government will continue supporting you in all the 33 counties in terms of relief food. Today, the experts have shown us that from now going forward, the rains are subsiding. When you look at the water levels of all our dams, and I spoke to CS Keter this morning, he says our dams are still full, but they have now stabilized, meaning we are likely to see the effects of flooding in, say, Garissa and Tana River also subsiding as the dam levels also stabilize. But this does not mean that we should relax, because as we've been told by the experts, though the rains will be subsiding in northern Kenya, parts of eastern, we will still be having rains going into June in the western part of the country, Nyanza, the Lake Basin region. Also at the coast, we will be still experiencing rains and parts of Rift Valley. So let us stay alert. Let us keep responding to the alerts that we have been given, so that going into June, we will be able to prevent any further loss of life or property. For the State Department of Devolution and Special Programs, relief food will continue being supplied to the affected families into June and until the rains actually stop. Cessation of rains, as we've been told by the experts, would be in June. But even after June, there will be the most critical part of now supporting the families, rehabilitating them. Most of them have no homes to go back to. Most of them are living in camps and in tents. And it is the assurance of national government that we will work with the county governments affected to support all the affected families. Last year, those families that were affected in the landslide in West Pokot, in Parua, we had 109 homes that were flattened and lives lost. As we speak, through Red Cross, the national government has been able to reconstruct the 109 houses. We equally had a place affected called Nyarkulian. We had 72 houses, and as we speak now, those families have new houses that they have moved back to. And lastly, in Tamkal, we had 44 houses affected, and I'm happy to report that as we speak, through Red Cross, the national government and the West Pokot County government and the donors have been able to reconstruct those houses. So we will be able to work with the counties, identify the families like those in Moranga who have also been displaced by landslides and mudslides, so that after the rains stop in June, we will be able to now see how to restore normalcy in terms of supporting them rebuild their lives. We are also urging our county governments that we now help the families with seed and fertilizer. Most of them are very hardworking Kenyans. They had already planted, they had crops in their farms that were submerged. Crops were washed away, animals were washed away. Let us support these hardworking Kenyans.
There you have it, 285 lives lost because of the heavy downpour, and also 8,655 Kenyans have actually been affected by the floods, with the government saying that they'll continue giving relief food to these affected families until the rainy season is over, and also giving a stern warning to people encroaching on riparian land, saying that it's affecting the environment. My name is Brenda Zedaradido. Up next at 11 is Nicholas Wambo. Continue giving you the full coverage of what is happening at the Kenya Meteorological Department. God bless you, and thanks to the entire team that makes